different from every other first night of Chanukah at Bnei Or. If you look at the Chanukiot, if you look at the Chanukah menorahs, you may notice something unusual. Yes. What is it that you see that said, makes you say, why is this night different than the other night? Some of our Chanukiot have, well, every one of the Chanukiot has a shammash, a servant candle. Some of the Chanukiot tonight have the traditional first night candle. Well, it's only one tradition. There's another tradition, represented by the other Chanukiot, which, lo and behold, are festooned with all of the candles, all 8 candles. How many of you have ever seen that before? A few.
I heard tell, but I never seen.
Heard tell, but never seen. How does it come to be that some Chanukiot feature the one candle for the first night of Chanukah? And it would appear as if the other Chanukiot are set up for the 8th night of Chanukah. But it's not so. 2 different schools of tradition about how to light the Chanukah menorah. And we at Bnei Or tonight decided, both in honor of our beloved Reb Zalman, and also because when we were thinking about whether to hold our Chanukah party on the first night or the last night, some said, but if we hold our Chanukah party on the first night, all of the little menorahs will only have one little candle, and they will seem so empty, because we've had a tradition for so many years of lighting all of the Chanukah lights when we gather on the last night for our festivities. And so I said, let's teach at Bnei Or the other traditions. Not a tradition for the last night, but a tradition for the first night. For in days of yore, when the holy house, when the holy temple still stood, and the rabbinic movement is beginning to flower in the land, the school of Hillel raised up many students. A great yeshiva, a great school of learning. Down the block, the school of Shammai also raised up many students. A great yeshiva, a great house of learning. And the 2 great houses of learning almost never, maybe one could even say never, agreed. They had consistently divergent points of view. What made the points of view different? Well, there are many ways of explaining that. But one way of explaining that could be to say that Hillel and his school were pragmatists. Shammai and his school you could call idealists. Now, it wasn't as if the school of Hillel was not cognizant of great ideals, nor would you say that the school of Shammai could not respond to pragmatic needs. But where they placed their emphasis was different. How does that show up at Chanukah? Well, the school of Hillel said, we light candles night by night as the miracle increases and as the days go along. 1 candle for the first day.
Who's the school of Hillel?
For the school of Hillel.
You said Shammai.
Oh, the school of Hillel. lit one candle for the first day, and 2 for the second, and 3 for the third, and fourth, and that is the custom with which you are undoubtedly familiar. Because the rabbi said that when the school of Shammai and the school of Hillel disagreed, more or less the rulings would go along with the school of Hillel. But in the Messianic age, when Marcia comes, that would all flip. And the rulings of the house of Shammai would become preeminent. And therefore they must not be forgotten, even though they were minority opinions. Let's teach that to the Supreme Court. Ha.
Right now.
The school of Shammai said, we'll light 8 candles on the first night. And then as the days are removed, we will light until at the very end, the last night will be at 1. Why? Why did they care? What is it that the candles mean that would make them care at all? They both understood that the light of the candles meant the exact same thing. That the light of the candle, the singular light of a single candle, represents the infinite unit of light of creation. For as you know, in Torah, what is it that is created on the first day?
Light.
Vayihi or, and light is created, but suns and moons and stars, they are not created until day 4. So physical light doesn't exist until day 4. If physical light doesn't exist until day 4, what is the light of the first day? It is the divine light itself. The divine light, which is outside of time and outside of space. And the rabbi said, this was the light of Gan Eden. This is the light of the Garden of Eden. This is the light of the possible future. This is the light of perfection. This is the light by which we can see from one end of creation to the other. This is the light of enlightenment. And therefore, the house of Shammai said, keep your eye on the prize. Go towards the one. Always go towards the one light. Always move towards the one original light of creation. Surely we live in a world of abundance and multiplicity. We live in a world of many colors and tastes and phenomena. We live in a material world. That's the pragmatic reality. We live in a world of many candles. The house of Shammai said, yes, we live in a world of many candles, but we're moving always, always towards the echad, towards the one. And the house of Hillel said, but everything starts with the one. And from there it flows out into the many. When we start with the one and we flow out into the many, we don't forget the one. We bring the light of the one into the many. And Shammai said, start with the many and move towards the one. Which should it be? Both have merit, don't they? And so our beloved Reb Zalman taught us, saying, if you have 2 Chanukiyot, why not light one for Shammai and one for Hillel? You can have it both ways. Which is what we thought we would do tonight. And so we'll sing our bracha together, inviting everyone who has brought a Chanukah to come up close and personal, gathering around you. Not everyone brought one, but that doesn't mean that you are not included. We are all inter-included in this mitzvah. And so we invite everyone to come up. There are also some Chanukiot that belong to Pnei Or, and therefore they belong to you. And so as we light the candles, particularly as for those Chanukiot that have more than one candle, if you can, pass the shammash back to somebody behind you so that everyone has a turn.